So it's kind of my job to come in here in the morning, take a look around at the staff right before we start the show. To me, it's like a football game. All right, I got to see how my staff is doing. Are they fired up? Are they focused? Are they in a good mood? If not, I try to create some conversation, play some music in here. I look around the room this morning and Kristen is in La La Land. I don't know what you were thinking about, but you were in this deep stare.
I was.
Sort of looking at your computer, but sort of not looking at the computer. And normally, those things last for a couple of seconds. You were like a zombie.
Yeah.
What? What happened? Where'd you go?
No, I can't tell you yet. I played something out in my head, and let's see if I'm a psychic or not. Your hair looks good, by the way, Mo.
Thank you.
So let's see if it plays out or not. But I was I was watching something on my computer, and I'm not going to say concerned isn't the right word, but I'm interested in seeing how something plays out.
Okay. That is right. I've been online a lot lately, and I'm really interested to see how most stuff plays out. I'm concerned. Was that a look of concern or just...
Slight concern.
Slight concern.
Yeah, slight.
Does it have to do with the show or outside the show?
Slight concern.
Outside the show?
No.
Oh, inside the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about because I brought this up before the show.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I think we're thinking about the same thing.
Okay, maybe we are.
Is there a somewhat hole on the schedule that has you curious?
No,
Okay, that's not it.
Never mind.
No. Oh, I know, yeah, because you put something on there that's a mystery break later in the show, and it's also prime time, which is, yes, fearful. But that's not what I am referring to, because I've worked with you long enough. I'm like, it was whatever.
Is it someone on the show?
Huh?
Is it someone on the show?
Peoples.
Peoples on the show.
That's a Jimmy word. Peoples.
When do we get to find out what the answers to this mystery?
After this break.
After this break.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so it was last week that I mentioned that, look, there are a whole bunch of game show answers that are truly, truly terrible. Now, what you guys don't understand is I have been the victim of this. I have been on a set before. I know the pressure. And I know how hard it is to focus so badly that I told you guys when I was on Pyramid, a celebrity called me a bonehead because my answers were so bad. That on national TV, right?
Like I don't know. Is that a badge of honor?
No, it's not. So Mo and I have very separate gears. I've told you guys before, if you listen to this show, Mo kind of has a brand. Dude is cool no matter what is going on. We went skydiving. He was cool. No problems whatsoever. We put him in the most uncomfortable situations, like singing a national anthem in front of a whole bunch of people. He's never done that before. For me, the bit wasn't nearly as fun because he wasn't scared at all. There was absolutely no fear. Right? So what brought this up was an answer on Family Feud last week that we were all laughing at, and it sparked a memory like, oh my God, I got to find the audio from me on Pyramid just totally choking. But this was the Family Feud audio.
Name a U.S. state that is part of New England.
Spain.
Name a U.S. state that is part of New England. Spain.
Wouldn't that have been something if one person had said that?
Right. Now, that was bad enough. And wow,
that was bad.
That was really bad. Now, mine happened in 2003 when things didn't go viral. And I'm not even sure my answers were bad enough to go viral. But it's true. Like, once you get on that set, and Tommy was part of the same show that I was, we weren't working with each other at the time. Once you get on that set and you see the lights, and Donny Osmond was the host of the show back in the day. You got the studio audience, the lights are on you, and you see everything that you see on TV. It's intimidating. At least it was for me.
I'm sure it is. I think, and I mean, on a smaller scale, we get used to this, what we do every day. But, you know, people come in here and get on the mic for the first time, and you can see, like, you know, the panic in their eyes and, like, you know, the freeze or whatever. So when you're used to it, it's one thing. But yeah, to be on a TV set and to do a game show and to be under that pressure, and then also knowing that there's money on the other side of it, it's literally like everything goes out your brain.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't about money. It was just about surviving and not looking like an idiot. Whereas Mo would probably go on a set like this and get aggressive, like, oh my God, God, I'm going for the money. For me, it was like, just don't look like an idiot.
And he did.
I think I would be fine, but I still, in the back of my mind, more than the money and everything else, it would be like embarrassing myself in front of my friends and family. That would be the part I'd probably be concerned with.
Now it's about saying something stupid and going viral.
Yeah. Well, I did that. Now, Tommy, we're going to play the audio in a second. I don't recall you playing on the show. Did you get further than I did?
Yeah, I made it to the big chair twice.
Okay.
I won both my rounds. On the show that Kristen and I came from, we played a game called Catchphrase. And Catchphrase is very much like Pyramid when you're at the desk with the celebrity trying to describe the word and they're guessing the word or vice versa. And I was really good at that. So I smoked the people I was playing. And then I got to the big chair. Jane Fonda will be the bane of my existence till I die.
Why?
You were playing with Jane Fonda?
No. I played with Trace Atkins and Kirk Franklin. And one time when I was in there, I forget who I was with, but the category was Famous Janes. And he's going, Fonda, Mrs. Tarzan. And I'm like, what? And, you know, it's one of those moments when you're at home and you go, this is the stupidest person on earth sitting in this chair. How can he not give Famous Janes? And I could not get it. I ended up winning. I got to the big chair twice. My total winnings, $800.
Hey, at least you got 800, man. Now, I sat there down there for like the preliminary rounds, and I didn't even know who I was playing with. Tommy told me later it was like somebody from the Go-Go's or something.
Yeah, it was Jane Weedland from the Go-Go's, which is my favorite Go-Go. She was hot back in the day. Still is. And country music superstar Trace Atkins.
So
I like a giant to Bert. He's
huge.
He's 6'6".
Yeah.
So standing next to Bert, he looked like he was 8'6".
So we get into the final round of Pyramid, and he's on one side, and he's giving me clues, right? And I'm on the other, not feeling real confident about myself. And he's starting to get frustrated while he's giving me different clues, and I just can't get them. And in this one, I could not get the word styrofoam. And Trace Atkins on national TV calls me a bonehead.
You guys are evenly paired here. You're up next. Styrofoam.
Styrofoam.
You bonehead? I started to reach down and grab my coffee cup.
You did.
I can't believe it, man. This is a tie game.
You bonehead.
Bert, you're living right, man.
It's torture.
You're living right.
It's torture. Just let me go home. I just want to go home. Torture. Put her in there. Can I pass?
No.
Oh, you're going to play this out, man.
Yeah.
Okay, here's how we break the tie. I'm going to give you the choice between two letters. Those letters are P as in Paul and O. Bert?
So all I need is 3 to tie again.
All right.
You need 4. You want to get in the winner's circle.
That thing scares me.
Well, you've never been there. How do you know?
What'd you come for?
So I just wanted off the set. I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't living in the moment. I didn't even want to be there at that point. Just go home.
Did you even make it to the big chair?
Yeah.
How much money did you win?
I don't know. The other person must have choked really, really badly. So there Mo is having a nice meal with his lady when she screams loudly. He has no idea what's going on.
Have you guys ever had anything that surprised you in your meal when you've ordered?
Oh, God, yeah.
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 I saw this just play out with Amanda a couple of nights ago. It's an interesting evolution because we're eating and she's starting to pick a hair out of her mouth. It's a long hair.
Yeah.
So she's looking at it, and I say to her, like, is that yours? And I see in her face that she doesn't quite believe it is, but she says, yes. Yes, I think it is, just to calm herself down. But I don't think it was hers, and I think she knows it wasn't hers also.
Oh.
There, I see your human hair, and I raise you a metal spring hidden in my pasta sauce. That was fun to chomp down on.
A little metallic taste for spice.
I think before any of you guys got on the show here, we were having a meeting, and we ordered breakfast from a place right down the street here. And when my ex-wife dug into it, there was a nail.
Wow.
I think it was a press-on nail that had fallen off into her food.
You win.
And I talked about it on the air. And I got a whole bunch of emails saying, don't talk about that place. There's a good chance it is mafia, and you do not want to talk crap about them. So it's the last time I ever told the story, and it's why I'm not mentioning the place right now.
Well, if it's a mob wife, a press-on nail makes total sense. There would be one found in the food.
I will say it's a very late night place where a lot of people, when they're drinking, go to, and it's not Waffle House.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I saw a monkey in there once.
Me too.
Oh, is that
were
right?
we
Really?
Together? I think so.
I think we might have been.
Does the outside of it have a neon light?
Yes.
Okay.
No comment.
I feel like I'm in a fever dream right now.
Okay. All right. Those that know.
I should have asked you to go last.
I know, right? So mine was like a really long hair that I saw, and I started pulling out, and it was in my rice, and I literally just kept pulling and kept pulling and kept pulling. The question is, though, that the place like that, when that happens, do you ever go back to the place again? Because this was a chain restaurant. All right, this was a low key chain restaurant, and I have never stepped foot in another one of those again because of that incident.
It took me years, but I did. I mean, you're in that part of town, which is Buckhead. You're drinking, and you're like, oh, I can't go to that place. There was a nail in my food. Then you're like, but I'm so hungry. I'll risk it.
And it's funny you mention that, Kristen, because this place is literally one of my favorite places. And that's what made it so hard. That's a part of what made it so hard. I was already on this kick of I need to stop eating out as much as I do. Like for financial reasons, for health reasons, for all the reasons. And I'm right in that space of I want to cook for myself more, but I just don't like cooking and I don't feel like it. But I needed a reason. It's like I almost prayed for a reason to stop ordering out as much as I did. And boy, do God show up, because I'm sitting here with my lady. We just ordered some sandwiches, and I hear her like it's like not a scream, but a gasp, almost like what is that? And I'm seeing her kind of toying with her sandwich. And I've never had anything in my food. I've been fortunate. Just hair, something like that. Something like
just hair.
Yeah, I've had hair.
Kind of what we're used to.
I feel like that's like you're gonna get hair in your meal at some point if you eat out enough. But I've never had anything worse than that. And so she starts pulling something out of her mouth.
No.
And I can't really tell what it is because it's like covered in cheese. But I think it's cheese. And then but it's not like the texture is not really like cheesy. And so she looks at it and she's like, there's no way this is what I think it is. And I walk over there and she takes it's in the sandwich and it's melted in the cheese almost. And she pulls it out of the sandwich, holds it up to the light. It's a receipt.
Excuse me?
A receipt?
It's a paper receipt.
What?
Like the whole receipt?
The entire, when you know how you order and it prints out and they're like, here, take your receipt.
Oh, so when she bit, did she just take pull a piece of the receipt off?
She bit into, the receipt is literally buried into the cheese. Like the cheese is melted on the receipt.
Are you having lunch at CVS where you're just pulling and pulling and pulling?
You can still see, you can almost still see the words. No. You can almost make out the other person's order. The whole piece of receipt.
Did you take a photo and send it to the restaurant?
We did, and they were like, do you want another one? No.
You like another receipt?
Right. No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I want my money back.
All right. We're 3 days removed from the Super Bowl, and people are still talking about the halftime show. And there are now little sub-debates going on. First, there was Kendrick Lamar, and there were some that just didn't quite get it, and felt like it wasn't the spectacular performance that we normally see at the halftime shows, and people didn't realize it was more performance art, and there was a lot of messages in there. And then the sub-drama here has to do with Serena Williams at the very end of the Kendrick Lamar performance.
So for those that don't know the history, Serena Williams dated Drake back in 2011, I believe. So when Kendrick Lamar performed his diss track about Drake during the Super Bowl, it was fitting, but it was also surprising to see Serena Williams on stage dancing. And she was doing a particular dance mode that I think Drake made fun of her for doing before, too. I think so. It was like a double jab.
It's crip walk, but it was more than Drake made. Drake didn't really make fun of her for the dance. It was more like the media make fun of her for the dance.
Okay.
Drake was just taking shots at her for being his ex, and he's not really over it, it appears.
I also think she got fined for doing that specific move after she beat Maria Sharapova at the Olympics. So it was also kind of like a big FU to the media and to tennis, who didn't want her to be the face of tennis. They wanted someone like Maria Sharapova, wink, wink, instead of Serena, because, she's doing a crip walk, which, like Uncle Samuel L. Jackson said in the Super Bowl halftime performance, like, don't be too ghetto. And the crip walk, I think, was not what the tennis officials wanted to be the face of the organization.
They considered it ghetto.
Because it's an ex, and because it's Drake, and he's taken so many shots at her, there's no chance my lady, married or not, is getting back with that guy. And if she could somehow stick it to him in a very big way, the Super Bowl, this is not bothering me, not one bit.
Okay, so that's my question, and that's why I thought this was worthy of a debate, because even if we reverse roles, if my husband got offered to perform at the Super Bowl, right, or got asked to perform on stage as, to get back at an ex, I'd be like, no.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
So for me, it was kind of two-party, right? Because if you talk about her going up there to do it to get back at the media, then I feel like there's nothing you can say.
Absolutely.
I completely understand it. I'm glad she did it, and I got the whole vibe of it. But what Stephen A. is saying, I understand. Because if that part is not there, and you just have an opportunity to go on a stage and get back directly to get back at your ex, and you're married, I would want you to turn that down.
So because
I wouldn't take that opportunity.
Because it's still somewhere in your heart and your head, like you're still bothered by it, even though it was in your past. Like it shouldn't be there at all. Like if you're offered that, you don't even care. So I'm not going to take it.
Shouldn't even be top of mind. Like, why are you even thinking about this person? I had a friend who went to a wedding once with his wife at the time, and his ex-girlfriend was also at the same wedding because they knew the same people. And he went up there and he had an opportunity to not mention it at all, but he told a little joke and took a jab at his ex-wife, and his current wife felt the way. Because why did you use this moment to say something about her or to go back to her when you're here with me? Like, the moment should be about us.
So you don't know what really happened between Drake and Serena, right? We just know that he's kind of been ripping on her and taking her shots for years. But within that relationship, you don't know how bad it was. So nobody hates your ex more than your current when they tell you stories about how somebody else treated you so badly. So if the stories were bad, right, and she goes to her husband, and this guy hates her through proxy, or hates him, I should say, Drake, through proxy, then all right, you do that. He did that to you back in the day, even though I wasn't part of the picture. Go get him.
I guess I feel like for me, it's not. I think some people take it as an insecure thing. Like, you think that she still likes him or she still wants to be with him. For me, it's none of that. I don't even want you to hate your ex, because hate takes energy. I want you to feel indifferent about your ex, to where it's not even a thing. It don't even come up. That's how I would want my marriage.
I don't know that many have that maturity level.
I think we're glazing over the fact that this was at the Super Bowl, though. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't some petty, like, jab on social media to get back at your ex. You have the opportunity to be a part of what Kendrick said is going to be a revolution televised on screen. You get to A, get back at the media, B, you get to be back at your ex, get back at your ex, and C, you get to be a part of a pop culture moment that's so much more than just being like, screw you, Drake, didn't like the way you treated me.
See, that's because it's the Super Bowl, I feel like it gets a pass. But if it was anything else, I think out of respect for your spouse, you would politely decline.
Now, is it different if you're single? Because another thing that's really gotten some media attention is the fact that Travis Kelce's ex was also at the Super Bowl and was making a little bit of a show of showcasing that she was pretty happy that the Eagles won. She had some confetti. She was blowing it at the camera. And a lot of people are defending her, saying, well, she's a sports journalist. She has every right to be there and celebrate for the team. But a lot of people are saying, okay, but how can you not see how this is going to be perceived by other people when your ex just lost?
If I'm Travis Kelce, I'm like Mo was saying, I've got nothing in my heart left for her. So anything that she can do, she's so sort of quote unquote beneath my level of celebrity that she's just a roach, right? And Serena is so big that it makes a very different statement to me.
I see, and I guess I felt like the same way Travis Kelce, to me, owes it to Taylor Swift to not even give that energy. Like, I'm with Taylor Swift now. I'm not even concerned. I feel like, and especially because of who Serena Williams is. I mean, we talking about one of the greatest athletes of all time. That to me was low-hanging fruit for her to go out there and crip walk to get back at Drake. But to get back at the media, yes. Drake, nah, I wouldn't have wanted that.
You know, I do think, just for a second here, I do think there's going to be a point where we're at a saturation point with Kendrick Lamar beating up Drake. And at some point, you got to be like, okay, we get it. It's over.
They're not there yet.
When is that over?
I think that was a part of why Kendrick put Game Over in the crowd. I think it was one for the show and two for the Drake beef. Like, we're done here. But I just don't think other people are done dragging Drake.
Yeah, right. There are a lot of people that think that you've got $1 million idea inside of you right now, but you don't tell anybody, and then it just takes too much time and effort to actually see it through, so you just give up on the idea, right? Kristen had one the other night that I thought was $1 billion idea until it wasn't.
Apple had apparently already thought of it.
Yeah. So we're sitting around dinner, Abby and Mo and Kristen and I the other night, and the amount of pictures that pop up on my phone when they're saying, hey,
1 year ago today.
Right, are of my ex, right? And I just have been exhausted by the thought of having to go through all the pictures. I mean, it was a long-term relationship also, going through all the pictures and deleting them maybe one by one, right? I just didn't want to do that. So they're sitting in my phone and they pop up and they don't feel great to me. So Kristen said, I think it was your idea the other night.
It was.
Yeah. Like there should be an app.
Yeah, there should be an app that does face recognition, and you're like, hey, delete this person from all of my social media and all of my photo.
Yeah, your photos in your
photo
roll,
album.
yeah.
Your photo album. And Bert's like, that's genius. And then Mo comes back to the table and he's like, yeah, your phone does that.
I felt so bad. I was so excited about the idea. I think Apple has covered that one.
You can literally do it in a second, right? In a second. So when you open up your phone and you go to your contacts, there's going to be like 20 people that you either search or have pictures of more than anybody else in your phone. And if you just click on that person, all the pictures come up, and then you could just hit select all and then delete them all. It takes you 2 seconds. I had no idea.
My phone, for some reason, decided that one photo I took of Kristen and like Nick Jonas, I think, or Joe Jonas, was a very important person in my phone, and it kept highlighting him, and I was like, I don't want to see a Jonas photo. There's one photo of him.
I was so desperate to get rid of these pictures. I really had the thought a couple of months ago that, you know what, I'm just going to have Mikey go through my phones and delete them one by one, and I'll pay him $50. And then I thought, there are some pictures in there I don't want him to see, so I'm going to have to do this one myself. All right, so Jackson and Mikey are in here today with their $1 million ideas, and we are going to see if they have any legs at all.
You might be overselling us on the $1 million part. This might be worth $5 to $10, but we'll see what it is. So the way that this is going to work is Mikey and I have thought of one trivial problem that exists in the world, and we have come up with products that are set to solve said problem, okay? And we're going to pitch our products Shark Tank style, and you guys are going to vote on who you would rather invest in at the end.
Okay.
Does this make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this week's trivial problem, this one's for the guys out there. You know when you go to the bathroom and you always inevitably have the last few drops end up back in your pants?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
You didn't say number one, so
number one. Thank you.
What kind of number twos are you doing,
That's what I was about to ask Jackson.
It was a really bad day.
This wasn't my problem.
No.
Somebody is eating way too much fiber.
And
Number one.
just to clarify, that doesn't happen every time.
It happened to me. I had to take my shoes off that day.
I think we're talking about two different things.
There were drops everywhere.
For me, it happens at least 50% of the time.
What?
I think so too.
I got a dribble.
Not you? I thought that was every man in the world.
Me too.
Yeah, every man goes through this.
No, it's like once every 3 months,
No,
man.
no way. What are you, the greatest shaker of all time?
Okay, well, we know that the problem exists. There's varying levels of occurrence
You
and
guys are like
frequency.
toddlers trying to figure it out for the first
I
time.
mean, you can stand there and shake for 5 minutes. It's never
Well,
finished as soon as you put your pants back on.
Maybe your tunnel is a little longer than mine.
All right, so I'll be starting us off for our very first pitch here. All right, Sharks. I am seeking one firm handshake and 2 crisp high fives in exchange for 100% of my non-existent company, the Whiz Watcher.
The Whiz Watcher.
For my dudes out there, are you tired of the last few drops of pee ending up in your pants every single time you go to the bathroom? Well, get used to it because I don't have a miracle cure for that because that's out of my control. As my grandfather always told me, no matter how much you wiggle and dance, the last few drops will always end up back in your pants.
That's a fact.
That is not true.
It's a fact.
You are so in the minority here. Mo, Jackson, Mikey, and my 3-year-old son all have this problem.
The only good genetics my dad has ever given me might be this.
Blessed, man.
I'm blessed.
If this is inevitable, why don't we try to capitalize on this? This is why we've teamed up with the company Pretty Litter and launched our very own product, the Whiz Watcher. For those of you who don't know what Pretty Litter is, it's cat litter that changes color when your cat goes to the bathroom and detects pH levels and other health markers so you can ensure your cat is healthy. So why don't we do the same thing for us? Our patented product fits on the inside of all forms of undergarments, boxers, briefs, and everything in between. The Whiz Watcher captures those last few droplets, and our revolutionary Whiz Watch technology instantly scans the liquid and sends a notification to your phone with your results.
So you've basically created panty liners for men.
Yes, but it tracks your health. But it tracks your health.
But it tracks your health.
Wait, you got to have cat litter in your underwear?
No. That's just where the technology's derived from.
Okay, so no litter.
No, just a panty liner that will tell you if your pH levels are too high in your pee.
We're trying to sell men on pads?
Hey, let me cook. Your biohacking is bio-lacking without this product. So join me and over 6 other loyal customers who have started their journey into the wonderful world of Whiz wearables.
I would like to order 100.
He doesn't need them.
I don't know. I mean, if we're going around the table like they do at Shark Tank, I would say this is not a thing for most men. So for that reason, I'm out. But maybe I'm the anomaly.
I would say I do think men need a solution, but that's not the way. That's not it.
That's fair.
This feels like an ignorant lady question, but have you considered toilet paper? Like, can you just do a little dab?
I do that.
But,
I'll do
but
that.
if you're
I'll do
standing
that.
at a
Yeah.
urinal, there is no toilet paper.
Does it track your health?
Well, no. This is not.
What if the toilet paper tracked your pH levels?
She's not talking about when you're sitting on a toilet,
Nah.
right? Yeah. This is a standing up shake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To finish.
Like, she said, can't you use toilet paper? But if you're standing at a urinal, there's no toilet paper within access of you.
Okay, we're going to circle back to this problem later in the show because I want to see if I'm in the dead minority on this.
We're not doing a poll on the show.
Well, that's an interesting use of words. But as I'm looking around the room, Mo says it's a problem. Jackson said, Mikey, Tommy said so, and we have an engineer in here that's been like shaking his head. Yes, also. So maybe I've got a real gift.
I legit thought that every man went through this.
Yeah, me too.
Nah.
Also, before I start, I'd like to go ahead and admit my problem's a little bit worse. I get the dribble on the outside
Excuse me?
Of what?
of my pants.
Wait,
What are you,
what?
2?
Fam, what?
I dribble on the outside of my pants. I gotta admit it. There's a problem to be solved. I'm gonna solve it. I'm not proud of it, but I'm gonna solve
How
it.
is that possible?
I don't know, man. I just dribble. I
So
dribble
you-
on the outside.
Kristen's 4-year-old son Jimmy has the same problem.
Seriously.
Well, then I have a solution for the two of us.
So what? I've got so many questions. Well, save it for bonus, but I got so many questions. Like, yeah.
Save it for bonus.
Here's my question.
Okay.
Mikey, do you know what an inside thought is?
Never heard of it.
That was one.
Let's get you a journal.
I have an outside dribble. All right. Fellas, is there anything worse than being in a rush, hitting the urinal before the big meeting, and wouldn't you know it, you look down and there it is, the dreaded dribble.
Is that why you never wear khakis?
Yeah, it shows up worse on gray sweatpants. And no, it's actually, there is no solution.
Stick with dog jeans, brother.
But I do have a solution for that. In a pair of gray sweatpants, you have no chance of hiding it. I've had to go as far as putting my entire pants under the sink to make it all the same color. Well, I think I speak for.
This is crazy.
It is crazy.
What is going on? I think I speak for all dribblers, no matter their gender or orientation, that when I say we are fed up, you've heard of house shoes, you've heard of gym shorts, you've heard of street hats, but get ready for bathroom pants.
That was very anticlimactic.
That was the landing.
Disposable pants at every urinal.
Diapers?
Come on, fam.
No, disposable pants. You got
Like tearaways? Like
tearaway. All right, hold on. It seems like nobody's really attaching to this idea. So good thing I have a couple more ideas here.
Oh, okay.
I also have.
Wait, I'm not done with this one.
Okay, so you like it? All right.
So these, no, I hate it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just really curious. So these go underneath the pants?
They're latex. You take your pants off, you put on these latex pants, it bounces right off.
Oh, wow.
I'm so confused.
So now you're going to need hooks by the urinals so people can hang their pants.
No, it's like, you know those latex gloves that you pull out of that box?
Yes.
It's like that.
Oh, so it goes over your pants to shield them from the dribble?
No,
No,
you gotta take your pants off. I know, it sucks, but you do have to take your pants
In
off.
front of everyone at the urinal?
What?
So you're at the urinal, you drop your pants,
Yeah.
you're butt naked,
Yes.
and then you put on new pants.
Correct.
For how long? When can you put your regular pants back
Well,
on?
you finish at the urinal when the dribble's gone.
Dude,
Don't you think men are going to feel uncomfortable dropping everything?
It's worth it.
You thought this through.
I'm into it.
Maybe we should go on to the next one.
Okay.
I think we're done.
I'm going to skip this one. I'm going straight to the Automator 3000. Automated urinal extender. Bowl extends until it hits your legs. Boom. The Mr. Robo Shake. That's self-explanatory.
Mr. RoboShake.
Wait, what? It is not self-explanatory.
So you've got a robot in there that does the shaking for you?
Yeah, he'll shake.
There's going to be some freaks in there using it for other things.
Going to the bathroom quite often.
Shake weight 2.0.
Tommy doesn't drink any water at all.
Stop
And he's
putting
been in
your
there for 4 hours.
I also have some pant clips. It's basically just binder clips for the top of your pants to reduce surface area for dribble. The drawback is you have to pull your pants down past your butt.
Okay.
So,
all right. I think we played this one out.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I am utterly stunned that this is even a common problem.
I had like 6 more.
You learned something.
This is safe. We're not done with you just right now. Denise, our listener Denise here, is in her office right now and needs to make a decision quickly, and it's called us for our advice. The question really boils down to, should I knock or should I not knock? And that means narc. Should I tell? Hey, Denise, good morning. You're on the Bert Show. What's going on?
Good morning. You're right. I do not have long. But I'm calling my office, so I have a sec. Okay, so I have a strong reason to believe that a colleague of mine, she's been smoking a weed pen or using a weed pen in the office bathroom during her breaks. We're on this big case, and I just walked into the bathroom, and she was in there washing her hands. And I totally smell the weed. And this isn't the first time. And I've sort of listed why I'm so sure that she does this regularly. She takes frequent long bathroom breaks, and she'll just disappear for like an extended period of time. Oh, and we're on a case because I forgot to mention we're paralegals.
So this is a high-stress, kind of high-stakes job, you would say?
Absolutely. And, you know, I don't really care that there's like a lingering, you know, smell in the bathroom, but, you know, she comes back from these breaks and she's just like relaxed and, you know, yeah, I'm a stress ball, so...
You jealous?
I was going to say, this is starting to sound a little like jealousy.
Can I know this is a very serious thing here, but I just
know, but she's also got like red eyes and she's sluggish and she's not helping and, you know.
Is it affecting her job, Denise?
Well, she's already been in trouble for billing extra hours, you know, not putting enough effort in for clients and stuff. I mean, she's not exactly a model employee, but it's not big, you know, but it's not like she's stolen records or anything, you know.
Yeah, there's been no egregious error, but you do think it's like affecting her.
Yeah.
So I did a quick Google search here, and I'm kind of stunned by the answer. I put percentage of Americans that get high at work. All right. Recent article says that 22.5% of people admit to consuming drugs or alcohol at work. That's 1 in 5. So one of you in here right now is either drunk or stoned.
Well, depending on the day, it might be me.
Right.
Depending on the bit, it might be me.
That is high. Wow.
So Denise, the job, she's not like lifting heavy things, and nobody is in danger here, except that it could be absolutely changing the quality of work and can shape the case that you guys are trying to build, correct?
Exactly. She's not, paying attention to, let's say we're looking at phone records or something, and she, misses things. That's going to seriously affect the case.
So
but at the same time, a lot of times we're doing stuff, and it's not like we're not surgeons or anything.
Does this appear to be a problem for others in the office too, or is this only seem to be a problem for you?
I don't know if I haven't said anything. I don't even know if anyone else has noticed. Her when she gets the munchies. But it's like it's a serious consequence, right? If I report this, there's a seriously good chance that she'll be fired.
Yeah, Denise.
I don't know if I want to be the one to rat her out.
Denise, hearing you talk, it's bringing up some not so fond memories of high school and college. And it's bringing out a side of me that used to be a big narc in high school, because I don't know if you've ever worked on a group project and you're the one putting in all of the effort and you're really trying to get a good grade and show your boss or your teacher that you know what's up, that you're going to get that A.
I have not been that person, but I can understand the frustration.
And then you have that one person that is just skirting by. They're always trying to get out of their effort. And it's so frustrating because it doesn't feel like there's one thing that you can latch onto, and finally they give you something and you feel like you can narc. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards narc.
Is that what you're feeling right now? What Abby's communicating?
Well, I don't know the best way to handle it. And okay, so the four that I've put out is: do I tell my boss directly? Do I just report it to HR? I could send an anonymous email, or I could literally just stay out of it completely. Do nothing.
Okay. Let's go around the table here just real quick. What do you do, Ma?
If it's me, honestly, if it's not affecting the bottom line, if it really is, then sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But if it's not affecting the bottom line of the work getting done, then I am just a worry about yourself kind of person. I don't feel like you should involve yourself with getting that woman fired.
Oh, I'm narking. I am narking so hard. And this is the reason why they have HR. So you can send these complaints so that the people in charge can make the decision, and you don't have to necessarily be the person that's going to get them fired. All you have to do is report what's going on in the office and how you feel like it's affecting your work. Being a paralegal is a big job. It's not like you guys are just, laying around talking on the radio.
Listener Zach here is just taking a big hit of weed, and now he's called with an opinion. Just kidding. Hey, Zach, good morning.
Oh, I just hit a huge hit. You're definitely right about that.
Well, okay. I was making a joke, but all right. So should she narc or not?
I'm part of the 22.5% you talked about. And no, you don't narc. Like, people's lives are hard already. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks life is so hard, but it's really not. People are just trying to get day by day. And, it really sounds like you haven't talked to anybody else in your office. So, it's only your opinion, which means, are you the Karen of your office? I don't know.
Are you high right now, dude?
Nah, I just left work, so I'm drinking.
That's my favorite call of all time, man.
It's 7:32 a.m. Who hurt you? Hey, there's a reason why screwdrivers and mimosas exist, because they got OJ in them, okay?
It's happy hour somewhere.
Please, Zach, run for office. Please, my man. I would say take the HR route, the anonymous HR route.
If you have seen a noticeable effect on her work and it's affecting clients, then yeah, I'd say you probably need to hit up HR.
That's the thing, is I feel torn because, on the one hand, he's right. She's an adult woman making bad choices, but, it's not my job to police her.
Right. Well, the good news is she's not Zach, so we got that going for her. So Denise hits us up, and she is a paralegal, and they are working in her office on a major case. She's in the office early, and she realizes that her coworker has dipped into the bathroom and has broken out the pen, has been smoking weed this morning. So she's wondering, should she knock to the boss or not? She called us 10 minutes ago. We thought we were done with this for the day. So what's going on, Denise?
Okay, so I wrote out an email to HR, and I haven't hit send yet. But I just feel like, I think you're right. I think it's the right thing to do by our clients. And, she's a professional. She's not, handling her stuff professionally.
All right, what's the email say?
Okay, here's what I wrote. I wanted to bring a sensitive matter to your attention, and I would appreciate being kept anonymous. I read that a colleague has been using a marijuana device in the office bathroom during business hours. There have been multiple instances of prolonged bathroom use, a distinct odor, and a noticeable behavior change afterwards. Given our profession and workplace standards, I felt it was important to report this. I trust HR to handle this appropriately and discreetly. Please let me know if you need any further details. I'm going to have a heart attack.
All right. And you sent that from IamANarc@AOL.com.
She hasn't hit send yet. Okay. That's the email she has sitting in front of her.
Send?
If you're so stressed about it.
Or do I just...
Well, first maybe ask your coworker for a hit of the pen. They'll relax you a bit.
We'll clear your mind.
Yeah, you're the problem. That's your coworker. Well, I got Zach in the back of my head. He's so disappointed in the Bert Show this morning. Our last caller.
And Zach was the one that called in, told us not to narc, and that he was already drinking at 7:30.
Yeah, no, he's too buzzed to be mad at us.
Yeah, Amen is happy. Trust me.
Look, if this is going to clear your conscience and you think you're doing the right thing, look, it's not. You shouldn't feel any guilt about this. She's the one that came in. I mean, you guys are in the law. I mean, you're in the industry.
Yeah.
And she's smoking weed right down the hall. So I don't think it's totally out of line for you to send this. It's anonymous. Get it off your chest. Do the right thing and just be done with it. I mean, don't take the responsibility for what happens to her. She's the one that brought it into the office, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do feel like if it's on your conscience and there's a reason, and if you feel the fact that you want to do it that way, I do think there's a reason. But hey, if you feel like it's going to help the bottom line for the company, then I understand why you feel like you got to do what you got to do.
All right. Denise, give us an update when you get off of the boat tomorrow and let us know exactly how it went, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, she definitely
She sounds like she's hitting the weed pen.
Yeah, she needed it.
I'm glad you took my advice, Denise.
All right, Kristen, I am excited about today.
Are you now?
Yeah, so excited, in fact.
Oh, Lord. You brought props?
Did he bring his weed pen?
This is the shorts I'll be wearing to our workout today.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you got the hoochie daddies.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Giving legs.
All right, man.
Sky's out, thighs out.
Yeah. Okay.
The tank top with the big arms on it.
Am I
man.
going to see your nipples today?
You're going to see more than that.
So I told you guys yesterday, Kristen's just annoying me with this whole workout thing. I mean, she's talking about it for so long. Oh, I got to get into the gym. Oh, I don't want to go into the gym. I'm going to go into the gym, but I don't want to sweat. My doctor says that I'm about to die if I don't go into the gym, but should I go?
Okay. Nurse practitioner never said death was imminent, but that...
It was heavily implied, though.
Yes, it was. But I desperately need to do some strength training.
Oh, I'm not taking this seriously enough because I don't love my child enough.
Don't try to help me. I just want to complain.
Don't you want to be around for those 15 summers you have left?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
apparently.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, 14.
Yes, we're down to 14 now.
God, I mean, we're talking about a 20-minute workout. The latest excuse is she's got a free gym downstairs that she passes every day out
I
to...
don't pass it every day. I have to go in the opposite direction of the front door to go to it, but it's there.
It's 30 feet. It's 30 feet. You could go one way out the exit door to the car, but I know that's too much cardio for you. So she's had people wheeling her lately.
No, whatever.
And to the left, she could go to the gym. And all she wants is 20 minutes. That's it, 20 minutes. The latest excuse is, I don't know how the equipment works, and I don't want to go in there and feel the insecurity of that. It's just excuse after excuse after excuse.
I do come up with a lot of excuses. But when we were discussing this at dinner the other night, I wasn't looking for a solution. I was just looking for a sounding board so I could complain. But apparently that wasn't good enough for you.
So I was swooping right in, and I said yesterday, Kristen, I'm not going to work out with you. Just let me go down there with
I
you.
don't want you to.
I'm not going to. Let me go down there. It'll take less than 5 minutes. I'll show you how each piece of equipment down there works.
Yeah.
I haven't even been down there. I'm assuming there's not a whole bunch of stuff down there.
Nah, it's not that much.
Yeah, right? So it'll take me less than 5 minutes just to show you how to work out properly on the things we got down there. And you agreed that, yes, we can do that today.
Yes.
And I woke up excited about it.
I'm glad you did.
Found the brightest colors you can find.
It's 20 minutes. All right, now Abby made a suggestion yesterday also.
I did make a suggestion just because we do like to heighten the stakes a little bit here on the Bert Show. And because we were talking about Jelly Roll, who says that in a little over a year, he plans on being on the cover of like Men's Fitness or something. And he wants to show people that if I can do it, if I can lose hundreds of pounds and then stand in front of a magazine in front of the world and show what I've done, you can do it too. So I decided to enact a bet for Kristen, where if she doesn't hold up her end of the bargain for her son, for her own health, for her nurse practitioner, she has to be on the cover of a local Atlanta magazine.
All right, so I happen to be in town for a while here. So I called up Joanne Cohen Hayes and Sunny Hayes, the founder and publishers of Simply Buckhead Magazine.
What are you doing?
Okay. That are willing to help you out. Hey, Joanne. Hey. There they are. Look at that.
You're bringing people in studio for this?
Extra pressure on you today. Hey, guys. Hey, thanks for coming in. Yeah, so this is Joanne, and this is Sunny Hayes from Simply Buckhead Magazine. They have been friends of the Bert Show and of Q99.7 for the longest time. I hit her up yesterday, and I told her what was going on. How you doing, Sunny?
I'm doing good.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, they have done articles on Bert's Big Adventure before. We have definitely crossed paths.
Yes.
I would say it's lovely to see you, but I'm gonna reserve that until I hear what you have in store for me.
Yes.
Joanne, the motivation to stay healthy for her child hasn't been enough. So we thought maybe some public humiliation with a cover or a feature, just to give her some proper motivation, might work with this idea that Abby had. Can you help out?
So I spoke with Bert yesterday, and thank you so much. What a great opportunity. And we thank you for your friendship to our magazine all these years as well. We know that we have featured you before for what you did with your lovely registry when you got married.
Thank you.
And of course, we've worked with Bert on some travel pieces as well as the show and Bert's Big Adventure. But we wanted to make an offer to you that if you achieve the goals that have been set for you, that we would do a beautiful wellness feature in an upcoming issue of our magazine, where you could tell the story of why and how you got yourself into the physical place that you need to be for your son and your family and your life.
Now, there's a little bit of a problem here because there haven't been any goals set. The goal is just to get her down there for 20 minutes today.
And we literally may have an opportunity that's even bigger than that for you, just because of some friendships we have, but no pressure.
No, none. I'm not feeling any pressure right now at all.
She gave me the same pressure too, by the way.
As you can see, we're dressed apart because that's where we're headed next. And I did something almost exactly like this in 2011 for myself. When I moved to Atlanta, I was very, very busy raising stepsons, and Sonny was traveling, and I was used to exercising my whole life, yoga, all the things that you love to. And I just had no time. I couldn't find a place. We were living in Covington at the time.
Or energy. And it's so sad because if you work out, you get more energy, but you have to have the energy to begin with to work out.
Right.
And that therein lies the problem.
True.
It is an intimidating journey to start with, for sure. I'm giving her a hard time, but I definitely understand where she's coming from.
Well, you do, because you do it also. We had this conversation yesterday about you, that you have to work very hard at making sure that you go, even, and have a purpose to go, even when you don't feel like going. So I was challenged by my team. I was going on a belated honeymoon, and I was challenged by my team to find a trainer and whip myself into shape in 8 weeks so I could put my bikini back on.
Okay.
And they gave me 3 trainers, and I called all 3, and one of them called me back and said, come see me on Tuesday. I started working out there, and I've been there now 14 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That is
And I
impressive.
train 2 to 3 days a week, usually 3. And I did it through breast cancer. I did it through a hip replacement, and I've not changed that routine over the years. And now Sonny's actually coming to the gym with me. So it's kind of a family thing now that we're empty nesters, but I did it back then for my health as well.
Yep.
And I really felt like it added something different. And strength training for women is very important.
I did not realize how important it was, especially for women of a certain age, because I am 45 and I'm going through perimenopause.
I could be your mom. I could be your mom.
Well, you don't look like you could be my mom.
Well, I'm 64, so
good. Kudos.
Yeah, this is because the trainer she's using, man.
So
Yeah.
I've been going to Stat Wellness because I'm trying to. I had been very transparent, was dealing with a lot of UTI issues, and we've got that taken care of. So now the next step was working on hormones and getting hormones regulated. And then every time I go and I do that body analysis, it's very apparent that I need to work on my strength training. Not even more so for now, but for down the road and how my body is going to appreciate it. And I do. Like I got a growing toddler, and he's getting heavier and heavier by the day, and which is why I strained my back and I pulled my back and pulled a muscle in my back, was lifting him up. And that is something that could have been prevented courtesy of strength training.
So will you use this as motivation to start working out regularly? I don't know what our goals are here, but we'll have to work that out. That's for yourself. That's for you to decide.
Okay.
And if you reach those goals, then Simply Buckhead will give props in their magazine.
That is a very, very gracious offer. You're so sweet to come. It's comical to me, knowing what my current routine is, that I would be featured in a wellness feature.
Well, you got a ways to go.
it's a journey. So
haven't earned it yet.
No, not at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at the future here, and I'm like, you want who? You want me to what?
we do, because these are the stories that are inspiring to our readers. And, as I said, me personally, I did it, and it was so hard, and it turned out to be so gratifying, and I kept it as a life-changing habit because I knew what it would do for me in the future. And sure enough, hip replacement, breast cancer, all these things that ended up being so valuable that I was physically able to manage those things and get back in shape so much quicker. And I did it for myself, and I did it for my family. I was raising boys and dealing with that and having a business. So it was very hard.
Yeah.
But the team wrote about my journey, and they combined it with me working out with a trainer locally and going on my honeymoon. And then I wrote a travel piece about my honeymoon in the same issue.
Oh,
These are all
so
such
it was
amazing.
awesome.
These are amazing tax write-offs. That's all I'm hearing. Yeah, it's healthy, but it's also great tax write-offs. So, are you willing to
Are you
take
willing
this bit
to
of a
do
challenge?
it?
I am willing to do it.
Okay, that's awesome.
I'm willing to. I was shake on it. We shake on it too.
So I'm gonna also put this out there. I don't know what you have for plans because I know you've
None.
talked about 20 minutes of showing her in the gym what the equipment is. However, the company where I train, they have made an offer of me gifting you being trained in their facility, and they have amazing trainers, men, women trainers.
That's incredibly
all different
generous.
backgrounds. They would love to work with you. We want you to do something you're comfortable with, but if you would like to work with them, they would love to work with you and help you through this journey. And I would train with you. I work out with partners. Sometimes Jamie will put me with partners just because it's motivating for them because they've never done it before. And so I might once a week work out with someone who's brand new and I don't even know them, but it's just super fun because you're just like in yoga, you're challenging yourself. It's not a competition.
That's an extremely, extremely generous offer because I know, I feel like I'm in the position, if I really tried, I could figure this out and, financially, etc. I could do that. So if you don't mind me presenting a request, I would love to do that if I can get a listener who doesn't have the means to do training and they could do it with me.
How about that?
Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
Oh my gosh.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. That is so sweet.
Because I know there's single moms or
Good
just
idea.
stay-at-home moms that they don't have the funds or they don't have the means. And
Peer pressure will kill her.
Well, Tommy's a listener.
I was just thinking.
Sounds good.
So if I could help out like another, and it doesn't even have to be a mom, but just another woman in need who wants
my
this
gosh,
for her
I
life but
love
hasn't been
that.
able to provide it for herself, we could go on this journey together.
Okay.
That even makes the story
we are
better.
literally on our way there when we leave your show.
What's the name of this place?
It's Pinnacle Fitness
Okay.
in Buckhead, right near Hal's on Old Ivy Road, right in the heart of Buckhead.
Yep, I know
and
exactly
it's
where you're talking
super
about.
easy to get to. Amazing trainers, amazing programs, very tailored to individuals, and it's real people working out. It's not, I hate to say it, it's not a meat market gym.
It's fine.
It's a gym where you'll see real people like us with families and kids and jobs and people in their 20s and 30s, but 60s and 70s. I mean, there are people there in their 80s that are working out. And so there's a
That's
real
who
mix
I'm gonna
of
be hanging
people.
out with.
I
That's your people.
I train with a gentleman who's literally a retired radiologist from Emory, and he is 80s.
Yeah, those are the worst to work out next to, man. It's so intimidating. It really is. All right, Joanne and Sunny from Simply Buckhead, thank you for your offer and thanks for coming in
You're
today.
so welcome.
All right, Kate, are we still on or can I put these away?
No,
You're not going to need these.
We're on like Donkey Kong, baby.
Okay, let's go. This is really going to make some of you guys tune out immediately. A success story about people that don't see eye to eye that actually listen to each other and rectify a situation and then move on.
That sounds glorious.
Wow.
That happens?
Where's the drama in that? All right. It really bums me out when we lose, obviously, any listeners at all. And it bums me out hardcore when we lose those of you that we consider P1s or you consider yourself a P1. And if you're new around here, a P1, without getting into it, is the most hardcore Bert Show listener. We are the S, okay? We could rarely do anything wrong. We could say just about anything, and you're like, I know those guys. Yeah, that hurt, but still, dang, they make me laugh every morning, and we love what they do, so I am ride or die with them, right? So when we get those that aren't necessarily... What's the word I'm looking for? How am I trying to explain this? When we hurt somebody unintentionally to the core, then that really, really bums me out. And it happened a couple of weeks ago. And I don't want to really get into the subject matter because it's a little bit on the dicey side with this particular listener who's not really sharing to you guys why this was such a trigger for her. So I got to dance around this very, very carefully. All right. So let's not fill in too many details. But Abby came to the table a couple of weeks ago with a bit that she thought was going to be very funny. It was a practical joke and we got a laugh out of it, but it hit a certain amount of our listeners really in a very sensitive spot. Something very, very personal to them that they felt like we were joking about that shouldn't be joked about at all. We had one particular P1, like top tier P1, that there's a platinum card.
Yeah.
If there's a American Express black card of listeners, this was this listener. I mean, so much so that she moderates our Bert Show fan page on Instagram that has over 3,000 people in it.
It's on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Facebook, yeah. So after we did this particular segment, she posted on the Facebook page, Abby's segment, also capital letters, because a lot of people are kind of upset by it, rocked me to my core and affected me emotionally. So sorry to say, but I'm going to be shutting down this page. It was enough to make me stop listening to the Bert Show permanently. I wish you all the best. And then she tagged Cassie in it. Man, that one hurt. That really, really hurt. That's the most dedicated Bert Show listener we have, right?
And you never want anybody to feel that type of pain.
Never, 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 never. So Cassie and she had a couple of back and forths on Facebook. And then I asked Cassie for her email and I sent her an email, which I didn't get a response back for. And I sent it again and she ghosted me there also. But it'll end up okay here in a second. So the email, and I wanted to read this to you guys that I sent to her. I really feel this way about all of you guys. Hey blank, I wanted to reach out to you personally as Cassie has told me how hurt you were by Abby's segment on the Bert Show. Totally understand why that segment would hurt you on such a deep level. You have been such a big supporter of our show. Maybe the biggest, I wrote in capital letters. I understand how deeply hurt you were by the segment, and I humbly ask you to reconsider the decision to disable the Bert Show's discussion page. I've received messages from so many really bummed they don't have that board anymore. Many want to start another, but I know you were genuinely invested in the show and would hate it to start with somebody not equally passionate about the show, and that would be really hard to find. Now, I'm omitting a paragraph here because it speaks about the personal issue that she was having, so I don't want to talk about it. Last paragraph. Thank you for hearing me out, and I'm sorry that a show that clearly has brought you so much joy over the years hurt you so badly that you'd want to abandon it. I hate that we were the reason that you were so hurt. And I really, really felt that. Mm-hmm. So a couple of weeks go by. There is no fan page on Facebook. And then was it last week, Cassie, where it popped back up?
Yeah, I think it last week or 2 weeks ago.
All right. And she writes on Facebook after hearing us out, "Hey, everyone. I'd like to apologize to not only the Bert Show staff for temporarily archiving the fan group, but also to each one of you guys. I recently went through a very traumatic loss and took Abby's segment personally, which I shouldn't have, because that's not how Abby meant it, of course, is what she says. This group isn't for me. It's all of us." And she capitalized that. You guys. Without you all, this group would be nothing. And she's got a little heart right there. So please feel free to continue posting in here and bringing this group back to how it was. Exclamation point even, you guys. I'm going to be a lot more casual and maybe looking for a co-moderator for this group. I have such black cat energy. I need a golden retriever mod to balance it all out. She writes, LOL.
I love the self-awareness, babe.
But again, I apologize for my rash decision recently, especially to Bert Weiss and Cassie Young. Thank you for letting me open up to you and being just the absolute sweetest. I had a therapy session to continue to work through the traumatic experience I had and just want to be a better admin for you guys. I love you all. Heart again. And I will always love the Bert Show. One segment isn't going to make me stop listening. I'm too addicted to the Bert Show, she writes. LOL. New post. Now post and bring the fun back to this page. So it's back up.
That's awesome.
That was nice.
And
Very
I'm
nice.
like, I'm so, and I don't know if proud's the right word to use, but I think this is a shining testament of having civil dialogue and understanding the why behind people's actions and what the real motives may be to come to like a happy ending.
Mm-hmm. Intent versus impact is a thing, man.
Right,
you know, and sometimes you have to remember that. And I love when people can say, you know what, maybe I took something personally and I know that wasn't your intent, and just be accountable for that, and realize that there is sorry on both sides, and just come to the middle of understanding that you're not trying to hurt each other. I think that's such a great thing. We should do that more.
It takes a big person to do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I mean, it was tough finding out on the air that I was the reason that the fan page got taken down. And I think that's the hard part of this job is it sometimes feels like even if you apologize and, recognize that maybe you didn't do your best in a situation, even if the intent wasn't there, it sometimes feels like you can still get punished for that as well. So the fact that this all came to a somewhat happy ending, I think it shows a lot of hope for the industry that, you have forgiveness for us and we can have forgiveness for you as well.
And I think, too, it's a lesson that we can all learn, instead of canceling or judging someone. And I understand the initial outright, emotional response based on one action. Maybe look at the track record and the history and realize that people might make missteps or might just do things that you just don't agree with and see eye to eye with. And I think we can agree to disagree on a lot of instances. But this group is fantastic. There's a co-moderator who's another huge P1 now.
But are they a golden retriever?
Yes. Yes, they are. They are. And, I think we're going to go ahead and post it to our Facebook fan page because I check it daily, this fan group. And the conversations there are just really supportive of each other and uplifting. And it feels like a community of friends, which is why I think so many people mourn the loss of the group, because it wasn't just like, let me join a group, I'm a fan of this person. It was a group where people talked to each other back and forth and were lovely and kind. And it really felt like there were friendships budding there. And for Facebook, that's rare.
Yeah.
That's a rare kind of group that she built. And I'm so glad she brought it back for everyone involved.
Yeah, and I want to say the same thing now that I've said for a while now. It's getting increasingly hard to do this job for you guys. It really is. We are living in a very different time, and we've tried to evolve the best we can without being really boring for you guys. And I'm not taking anything away from her hurt. She had very good reasons to be hurt. But I also think that we come with a resume. When you're listening that long, you know who we are. And if we do something like that, I'm so glad that she reached out to us and said, hey, this is the reason why I'm hurt. I've loved you guys all these years. At that time, it wasn't a temporary break. It was a permanent break. But at least she told us, and we had a chance to rectify it. And with just a little communication, everything is back to normal and everything feels fine. But I just want to reiterate again, when you do a show like when you do any show where there are jokes, somebody in the listening audience is always going to take it personally. It's always funny until it affects you, right? But please know that we are never purposely trying to hurt anybody. And if we do, please reach out to us and let us explain our side, and maybe we can come to the same conclusion here.
We're not malicious. We're just stupid.
Save that.
Yeah.
That's our new slug line right there. All right, Mo and I are sitting here ready to make a deal. We want to negotiate with you guys over something here in just a second.
I've had the hardest time working with you today, Bert Weiss.
Oh my God, white hair coming out of my nose. What are you going to tell me on the air that you should have told me off the air that you've been doing now for a decade? What's going on? Do I have an ear hair?
It's something you did last night in my dream.
Oh,
okay.
And I'm talking in the almost 14 years that we've worked together.
Yeah.
I have never had this dream.
Did your back hurt this morning?
But
My man.
From carrying the show? Yeah. No, so last night I had the most bananas dream about you and me.
I did notice you walking a little differently this morning.
You're kind of glowing a little bit, actually.
Then it definitely wasn't sexual.
All right, what had happened was I have no idea why I had this dream. I don't know why this dream occurred, but not only did I have it, I remember it vividly. You proposed marriage to me at Popeye's Chicken.
Well, where else?
I don't see the problem.
Yeah.
We were at Popeye's. You literally got down on bended knee and you proposed to me. You proposed marriage and I said yes.
All right.
Now the ring now mind you, the ring is the same ring I'm wearing now. So it's the ring my now husband, Bart, gave me. I was still married to Bart, but you proposed and I said yes. And it doesn't stop there, okay? You had there was a surprise photographer, not your girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Somebody else.
Well, that would be weird.
Right?
Yeah, right.
At Popeye's, and we did an engagement photo shoot at Popeye's. I'm not kidding you.
You popped the question next to some popcorn chicken.
And there was never anything physical. We never kissed. We kind of half embraced after the proposal. It was so weird. Then we're taking these pictures and I'm flashing my ring to the camera and we're doing all this stuff. And then you and I leave and we go to a pool party. And as we're walking into the pool party, newly engaged, you had surprised me with the Bert Show staff and Bert's Big Adventure staff. And they were all there to congratulate us on our engagement. A pool party.
Wild dream.
Wild. Mind you, I'm still married.
Right.
I don't
in real life.
In my dream.
Oh, so you're double dipping.
But Bart was nowhere to be found.
Bart and Bert.
Yeah.
Wow, that's going to be confusing.
In my head, I'm I am married. Why did I say yes to this proposal?
Well, look at all this.
It was so then we're at the party and everybody's coming up and we're at this pool party and people were congratulating us and wanting to talk about it. And I said, I can't talk about it because I'm still married. And it made no sense. But yeah, we're engaged.
Okay, so if we were all dream analysts, right, and we were trying to make any kind of assumption.
Let's don't.
On what is going on in your life right now that you would have this dream.
I have no idea.
What would it be? It makes sense because we got Bert's Big Adventure next week. That is top of mind for you for sure.
Absolutely.
So what else?
So was this dream after y'all had your dinner?
Yes.
So I think it's probably because you guys had that meeting and the Bert's Big Adventure staff conference we did a couple of weeks ago. I think it's just that you feel very on the same work page with Bert and that you're committed in the work arena, and then your dreams translated that into an engagement.
Which we really have been noticing over the last year and a half, 2 years. Similar ideas. She'll say something that I was just about to say, or vice versa. So we have sort of merged that way. Yep.
Or do you feel like your career is starting to get in the way of your marriage? Do you feel like your job, your boss is starting to infiltrate some of the problems that you're having at home? And this is like a symbolic way of showing it at Popeye's Chicken?
The Popeyes
where does that come from?
I have no idea.
Craziest part of the dream is that y'all went to a pool party after Popeyes.
That is diabolical.
That's crazy
honestly.
work.
Maybe you feel unfulfilled in life, and in order for your bucket to run over, you need Bert and some chicken.
Solid. Very solid.
I think that's it, Mo.
All right, it's time for a negotiation here. And I think if we handle this correctly and we come up with a solution, it will alleviate a lot of stress for couples that decide their quality time is going to be not talking to each other while you binge watch a TV show together.
But the talking comes afterwards when you can discuss the episode.
Does it though? Because somebody's falling asleep.
Most of the time.
So Mo and I started talking about this the other day, and I think a lot of you guys probably have the same frustration. You want to take it from here?
Sure. So this is probably one of, if not the biggest problem in my relationship. My lady and I definitely find shows that we have to watch together. Once she declares that this is one of the shows that you cannot watch without me, it is law, right?
So this is an us show, not a you show, not a me show, an us show.
And this is particularly important for couples like Mo and his lady, me and my lady, that don't live together and don't have that much time to really spend with each other. And you can't pick a whole bunch of different shows. You got one, and then you're going to go your way and I'm going to go my way. And then I can't watch it until we come back together.
1,000%. So after you have to sacrifice and wait all of this time to watch a show that you're really into and your lady finally comes over, what tends to happen is we might get through one episode. Sometimes we don't because she falls asleep. And when she falls asleep on a show that I have been waiting to watch, what should happen after that? Because we completely disagree on how that's supposed to play out.
Now, the difference between Mo's situation and my situation, there's some wiggle room here, but if you guys want to negotiate this deal, 1-855-BERT Show, is sometimes, and sometimes this happens with me, I don't know when Amanda falls asleep. She's laying on my chest. She's watching Bloodline. I'm watching Bloodline. A lot of times I don't know when she dozes off, so I continue to watch it. There are other times this woman jerks so much in her sleep. I mean, it's like she's playing kickball, right? So at those points, I know, okay, I got to make a decision here. Am I going to just tell her I didn't know that she was sleeping and continue to watch the show? Or am I just going to turn it off right now so we can both pick up at the same time?
So when my lady falls asleep, I typically 9 times out of 10 have no idea. She falls asleep very quietly and very fast. So you wouldn't even know. So if
pisses you off, doesn't it?
It does. It makes me so jealous. So if I'm really into this show, easily 45 minutes can go by and I'll look at her to see if she enjoyed the last 45 minutes and realize that she has seen none of the last 45 minutes, which at that point, I am in trouble because I was supposed to stop. But why should I have to stop if you fell asleep? This was our appointment. We set this up for you and I to do. You fell asleep. So I feel now she should be responsible to watch that 45 minutes of that show that she missed on her own time. And then we are all caught up. I should not have to rewatch that 45 minutes with her because she fell asleep.
Agreed. You agree with that?
I totally agree.
Okay.
I think the only thing you have to agree to is that we press the start button together, and anything that happens after that is on you. That is your responsibility.
Because it's not fair. If you fell asleep, I shouldn't have to watch 45 minutes of a show that I've already seen before because you're the one that fell asleep.
So on you.
Do you love her?
Oh, come on. Kristen, don't do this.
There are different levels.
Do you love her?
There are levels to it, but of course I do.
Mo, is it a little uncomfortable in this corner she's backed you into?
Not at all. Let's dance.
So you love her?
I do.
Love is sacrifice, baby.
Does she love me?
That's to be seen.
That love thing only go one way sometime, huh?
I am team Mo on this. You should not have to rewatch the show again. She needs to watch it, but you you shouldn't be able to move ahead until she has caught up that 45 minutes she's missed, but you shouldn't be forced to watch it again.
So what if it takes her like 3 weeks though to catch up with that 45 minutes? I got plenty of time.
Well, then let's set a statute of limitations on it. Like, how long do they have? 3 days, 72 hours, and if you're not caught up, deuces, you're left behind in the dust.
I think 3 days is plenty.
Till the next time you see each other.
Yeah. Because it depends, right? Like if you still gonna be with me for 3 more days,
yeah,
that should be done by the time by the time I get back home from work the next day.
Yeah.
You should be caught up.
For those of you that live together though, I do think that you have until the next time that you guys are routinely watching that show together to catch up on your 45 before we sit there for a fresh new episode together. That makes sense?
Yeah,
I think this
I
is
completely
fair.
agree.
Andrea, what do you got? Good morning. You're on the Bert Show.
2.4 seconds. I'm the girl who falls asleep on the couch watching a show that I sat down with a full intention to watch with my partner. The rule in our house, he gets to finish the episode. That's on me. I totally have to take my own time to catch up so that he does not have to rewatch it. But bless him, he will rewatch it with me anyway.
Aww. You know why?
Okay.
Because he loves her.
All right. You could have left that part out.
I am so excited to cut our bonus content after the show today because I have a life-changing technique literally life-changing technique for your men. Earlier this morning, I found out that I am in the vast minority, I'm sorry, of men that urinate and then dribble.
Neat.
Never had a dribbling problem. All the dudes associated with this show, 100% across the board, including listeners calling in, have a dribble problem.
One listener even coined a product called the pickle pouch.
That's right.
And I wasn't mad at it.
Right?
to prevent the dribble from getting on underwear and pants.
I had no idea that this was a problem with men because it has never been a problem with me.
Must be nice.
So I drink a lot of water in the morning, a lot. I'm out of here all the time peeing. So I've been paying particularly close attention today on why I don't dribble, and I have figured it out.
You had a urination revelation?
I did. And I don't want to share it here because it's going to I'm going to have to explain some techniques and explain parts of the human body that aren't mainstream radio. But in our bonus content, I can. And I am telling you, bro, I didn't know I did this, but I think I figured out why I don't and you do.
I can't wait to hear what this is. This has been an issue my whole life. You might change the world with this one.
I'm serious. I've already said, I came in here and I said, this technique should be named after me. I don't know what it's going to be called.
The Weiss maneuver.
Whatever it is.
You've been doing it all this time, didn't even know it.
Had no idea.
All right.
Cassie, in the meantime, what is our bonus content this week?
This week, hang on. You threw me there. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I can't even remember what we did on the show, let alone what we cut for bonus last week.
You guys, we do so much content. I don't know if you know this or you listen to other morning shows, but the amount of content that we burn through every single day and we record and we do for bonus is ridiculous. There are some times we're in here and I'm not sure if we're on the air live or we're recording something. There's so much.
So this week, Bert, you're talking about whether or not you have ADHD.
Oh.
And then also we're giving you a hack on how to find out who might be lurking on your Instagram account.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
So you can subscribe at thebertshow.com/bonusbs, or new, we just launched a subscriber channel on YouTube so you can actually watch the bonus BS breaks. So just go to youtube.com/thebertshow.
How much does something like that cost?
$2.99
Okay, not worth it.
a month.
Just kidding.
It will be today. You're going to change the world.
Yeah, right. The ADHD one isn't really necessarily about my battle with ADHD. It's a test that you can take to see if you just don't have you just can't concentrate or you really have ADHD. I think you guys will get a lot out of it. All right, so Sadie here, our intern, is wondering something about bachelors because they all seem to have one thing in common when it comes to her.
Navy sheets, no headboard.
What is it with the Navy sheets?
Men love the Navy sheets, but I recently found out there's a female equivalent, it's the Amazon floral pattern sheets.
Yeah.
And I have them, so I am an F girl, I found out.
I have no Navy. I don't think I've ever had
I've
Navy
never had Navy sheets in my life.
Congratulations, you are in the upper echelon of men. Not only do you not dribble after you pee, but you don't have Navy sheets.
I am I am not a well drink. I am a top shelf drink.
But do you have a headboard?
I do have a headboard.
Oh, what a catch!
I have 3 headboards in the house.
Okay, Don Julio.
No, but when you were in your early 20s, did you have a headboard?
I didn't have a bed.
There you go.
I literally, my freshman year of college was sleeping on the floor.
On the floor?
It's a long story, but my parents hated me. And
You can stop there.
Yeah, that's a good short story.
I didn't have a bed. I couldn't afford a bed, so I literally slept on a board with a sheet over me. I slept on the floor with a sheet over me.
That's sad.
And a pillow. I know.
Well, this just got depressing.
Anyways, so to preface this, I don't think I've ever walked into a single man's home and like looked around and been like, this is nice. Like this is decorated with like really like good intention.
This is well appointed.
Yeah.
It's survival though at that age, isn't it?
Yeah, but Facebook Marketplace, I mean, people give stuff away for free all the time. You just have to want it.
In your early 20s, how many of you decorated your apartment with empty liquor or wine bottles?
Right here.
In my college dorm, I did it.
Yeah,
for sure.
me and the guys at San Diego State one summer all came together. And I remember Jerry pulling us all together saying, you guys, we have a goal for the summer. We want to line the entire apartment up with Schaefer bottles.
What's Schaefer?
Beer.
Oh.
Okay. So we all came together and all summer long, we ended up lining the entire, the apartment from room to room to room, the inside, with Schaefer bottles, Miller bottles. They all had to be beer bottles.
Oh,
dude, your apartment smelled like stale beer.
It was the most San Diego State thing you'll ever hear.
See, if you were really cool at my school, you had the empty liquor bottles, but you filled them with water and soaked the inside of a highlighter in it, so they became blacklight reflective.
Okay, Emery.
Yes, it's a different level.
All right, so back to the Bachelor pads.
Yeah, so I drop off my male friend at his apartment this past weekend. And to keep on trend with today, I had to pee. So I asked him if I can use the bathroom. I go up to the apartment complex. He goes in and like runs into the room. He's like, stay right here, stay right here. So I'm assuming he's doing that thing like where you go, take all the clothes and shove them in the closet and slam the door and like throw the bed together so it like appears like you're a clean human being.
The quick pickup.
Yeah. So I'm looking around and it's like, to set the scene, it's very much mismatched furniture. There's a cutout for a kitchen table with like a light pendant over it, and there's just no kitchen table, just an empty spot. So a true man's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes out and he's like, all right, you can head to the bathroom. And I go in the room and there's clothes all over the floor. If there was a pop quiz on the color of the carpet, I couldn't tell you. Like genuinely, I'm kicking clothes out of the way. So I have no idea what he was doing while I was waiting. So I get to the bathroom, same thing, floor just covered. And I would have held it, but desperate times.
Now this is just a friend. This isn't a guy that you're going out with.
Yeah, but I've never been impressed by a man's apartment ever.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't
even
be.
people I'm going out with, I go in and I'm like, I'm not coming here ever again.
No, I mean, we're not into matching things. It's strictly survival on a very, very small budget.
I must be a very different man because every time we had these talks, I am the complete opposite. But maybe it's the Virgo in me. I am very neat. I am very, I like for everything to match. Everything has a place. I've decorated my whole place. I've always been like that.
Is it a white dude thing? Like a young white guy thing?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think it's got to be an age thing because I will say once you get to a certain age and men start inviting you up to their apartment, they want you up there for one reason, but they also want to be like, look at this condo I bought with this money. Look how I can provide for you. Because I will say when I moved to Atlanta and I started going out with guys, everything is in order. Not only do they have a kitchen, but there's forks in the kitchen and they're clean and they're neatly let up because at some point men do mature and they do realize that it is nice to have a beautifully appointed apartment. But right now you're in the trenches.
If you walk into an apartment that Abby is describing right now as a woman, that relationship is not going to work because that guy's gay.
Funny you should bring that up. That's why.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so I go into the bathroom and it's one of those toilet scenarios where like I'm hovering. I don't care. This is a man.
Trying not to touch anything.
Yeah, I'm hovering. And I should have known better. I should have looked around first. And I pee and I look around and I'm like, of course there's no toilet paper.
Ah, damn.
This would add up.
You had to dribble.
Yeah. So, do I do the shake or do I use Jackson's cat litter situation?
You got to do the Weiss maneuver.
Yeah.
You don't even know what that is yet.
Yeah,
but we will find out.
You will find out.
So he ends up, I end up calling, like, do you have any paper towels? Please help. So I get something slid under the door, and it is the takeout utensil container. I brought it for reference. This.
So you can take the napkin.
Oh, the
This
napkin.
is what I was given. And for the listeners, it's about 4 inches long, which for some men would say is an average size napkin. But this is what I had to wipe with.
Oh, God bless you guys in your 20s, man. There have been times in my life where I question what my purpose is on this planet. And based on what we just recorded, I think I found out.
You actually have a solution to the dribble that I've never heard of this technique that you use in my entire life.
Is this how you really want to go viral?
Sure. I mean, if this is as big a problem with guys as these guys are saying it is, I might have just changed the world for better.
I still don't understand it. I'm going to need a diagram.
I don't know that I can write it out.
Yeah, I think I get it, but I'm still a little confused too as to the location of what you're saying we have to press.
All right, well, maybe when Jackson comes back, he can describe it better than I can. And just remember, it's going to take you probably a couple of times based on who is it that always says it's the effing firsts? What motivational speaker that you love so much? Rob?
Mel Robbins?
Mel Robbins always says it's that, or is that Brene Brown? That says effing firsts. Every time you try something for the first time, it always is really, really bad. You have to try it a couple of times.
I'm sure this is what they were talking about. Yes.
It applies. Okay. So Jackson's on his way back in. We'll figure out if it worked or not.
Yep.
All right. So you're about to get we may get canceled for this.
We'll see.
All right. Because
Why are you so hell-bent on getting us canceled?
Mikey,
It's not me, it's him.
This is 2 days in a row, Mikey.
What am I going to do?
all right. So this Beyonce country album came out. And I know my son, who's kind of a good Southern boy now and listens to country music all the time, was appalled that Beyonce won, that album won Country Album of the Year.
Listen, I got to start this off by saying I am one of, if not the biggest hater when it comes to country music. I if it's not my way, it's the highway, baby. I'm hard to be around. I'm one of those people that say that people say like you're probably fun to be around at parties. I'm not.
I feel like
If we're talking country music, I'm not.
Yeah, I feel like with most genres of music, there's also subsets of that genre. So when you say you love country music, what subset of country music do you prefer?
I always have to be specific. I never tell someone I like country music because that's not true, because they're going to get the wrong idea about me. I have several subsets, but what my go-to is 60s and 70s outlaw country.
Okay.
So that'd be
That's
like
very
Waylon
specific.
Jennings.
Waylon Willie, Johnny Cash, all those guys.
Yeah.
And then like the songwriters from that time, that's a specific one. But then that also does leave out today. There is a lot of good stuff happening that gets ignored a lot of the times. And so I just usually ignore that though.
But like radio country or bro country, like Luke Bryan, for instance, not your thing.
Absolutely not.
Like
And
Shelton,
no.
Florida Georgia line.
Absolutely not.
But no, it's gotten worse. This is what's annoying me recently is that there's these new guys that came up and people are like, oh yeah, we finally gotten away from that bad pop country and now we're in this new era. It is just as bad. It's some of the worst stuff that's ever hit the market.
Is this
of
like
all
the
time.
folky country that you're hearing now?
No, it's I don't want to name names. I've tried to be better about this because no one likes you if you hate their music. And it's like, why can't I just like my own thing? It's not made for me. But it's just like it's these artists that are the big names now. It's just as bad, but somehow they're presenting this like, oh no, I'm true country. I really do drive a truck through the dirt. It's like,
so you must have some real pushback when Beyonce came out with a country album, at least initially before you heard it.
So my circles, like my social media, it's all just the second that happened, it was hellfire. It's like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to country music. Here's my take. I am glad. I so much prefer for her to win it than one of these yahoos out here that are acting like, oh no,
That's not giving her a lot of credit, though. That's just saying it's better than these crappy other guys, but it's still not good.
It's almost metaphorical or some kind of word, ironic, one of those words. That it's like she is not traditionally a country artist. She came on, she made a country album, which I'm not going to break down the difference between country and not country. If it's good music, it's good music. If it sucks, it sucks. She seems like she's singing about stuff that she actually knows about, not
So you don't feel like she was a poser in any of her songs?
No.
You feel like she was authentic to her
I skimmed
songs?
the album. My whole point is not dead set on her album was the best album on the list. It was that I would much rather her win it than one of these guys that I hate. That's my whole thing.
That's not giving her a lot. That's not giving her a lot of credit.
Not at all.
Mikey's not going to name names, but I will. So I would like to give you the list of Yahoos that were nominated for the 2025 Grammys for Best Country Album.
I don't hate all these people. I'll be specific about each one of these people. How about that?
Okay, so I'm going to go down the list. Of course, Cowboy Carter by Beyonce won Best Country Album of the Year for the Grammys. But then also Post Malone was nominated for F1 Trillion.
Okay. I love Post Malone as a person. I don't listen to his music. Don't hate him. Love him.
All right, Casey Musgraves, Deeper Well.
She's very good. She uses the Quaby sisters on one of her albums. Good person.
Chris Stapleton for Higher.
I always say I'm glad Chris Stapleton exists, but I don't play him in my car.
And Lainey Wilson with Whirlwind.
She seems cool. She seems like a good person. And a lot of people accuse me of this, but the accent seems fake. I'm sure it's not, but it's hard to listen to sometimes.
She was the one that was in Yellowstone, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Who is she?
Lainey Wilson.
Yeah.
And
Music rocks,
Her
man.
accent is not fake. She's the real deal.
No, I'm saying it's not fake, but it is just it
It's
is
over the top.
Yeah.
So your strong take on Beyonce really isn't a strong take on Beyonce. It's more of a strong take on the crap you feel like is coming out in country.
But I'm glad she won.
Okay.
That way, one of these guys didn't get to take home a little horn.
Who are these guys?
I'll take it. The worst.
I want to go back to the dribble.
Me too.
The Bert Show.
The Bert Show.